Millie Weaver reporting for Infowars.com. Now that President Trump has pulled out of the Paris climate change agreement, we're going to go ahead and talk to some liberals as to whether or not they still feel that the federal government should do everything for them, or if they think it needs to be handled at a state level or in the private sector. Let's go see what they have to say. What do you think about Trump pulling out of the Paris Accord?
Oh, I don't know.
You know, the climate change agreement with Paris? What do you think about that?
Not good. It's on the wrong side of history.
Well, I think it's a terrible idea. I think that it's one of the worst things he's done so far. And climate change is a reality, and he doesn't want to see it. And I think there's a lot of, oil people behind it, and I think it's terrible.
It's pretty messed up, not surprising, but yeah.
I just think we're going backwards as a country. He's not looking to the future. And we're children of the 60s, where there was hope, and now there's no hope.
Oh, God. Well, I mean, the fact that he ended up using a mayor who then openly said, oh, no, we're going to do everything we can, and trying to quote, I represent the citizens of America, not Paris. It's like, well, it's global climate change. The key word being global. It's going to affect all of us, whether you're in Paris or Montreal or Russia or America or China or anything. So it doesn't make any sense that he wouldn't want to, help save the world, and therefore Americans, too.
I mean, the Paris Agreement, I know it's largely symbolic, but symbolic things matter, and I think that when one of the most powerful people in the world make the symbolic gesture to turn it down and, say no to it, makes us look pretty bad for the rest of the world. So I think it's a problem not just for the climate, but for our standing in the rest of the world.
It might not have been the best deal, but it was a deal, and it's a start. Now as the leaders, we're no longer leaders.
It's about, like NATO, the same kind of thing. It's about collaboration, as I said, respect, and no matter what, even if it's not the end all, it's a process of people working together. And we strove since the 60s to get people to be united, and now it's basically separating people. And that's what worries me the most, that we're separating people.
He's an idiot.
He's an idiot. Do you think that global warming is a real problem?
Of course, yes. He's an idiot.
Do you believe that we're actually having global warming?
Yeah, of course. I agree with the science.
Yes, I think any intelligent, remotely educated person does. So, yes, I do.
In general, I feel that lately, the past few years, it's just weird. Sometimes it's colder than you expect, and sometimes it's just hotter than you expect. So I'm from Miami, and in Miami, we were seeing that change. Like, we used to have somehow of a winter, or a few days during the winter time where we have a nice cold weather, and we don't see that anymore.
Well, of course it's a problem, because our climate is changing all the time, and the fact of the matter is we can't even predict what's happening in terms of what we need to do. We need to just set ground rules by which we all treat the environment in a nicer way. Nature is what we're all about.
I have one word for all of this: lack of respect. Respect the world you live in, people, the environment.
Well, I'm actually studying to be a physicist and biology student right now, so it's what we've studied so far, and what we know is that the key ice cap that's holding back the majority of the ice flows in Antarctica is steadily melting, and if that goes, the sea level can rise as much as 6+ feet in 10, 20 years, which is going to put a lot of places underwater. And the rapid temperature changes in areas going from hot and cold or flipping all the way around will kill animal life, plant life, and if those go, humans go with them.
Well, it's not going to last much longer.
I think that eventually we are all going to be gone, for sure, because we're already seeing the droughts and all the flooding, and it's just going to get worse. So I think it's at some point we're just going to be it's going to be over for us.
Do you think that global warming is a real problem?
Yes, I do.
What do you think needs to be done to stop it?
There's so much, it's hard to even know where to start.
What do you think will happen if we don't make changes?
You'll have to ask my grandkids.
We're different on this.
I'm not sure if global warming, there is an issue or how bad that issue is. I think there's a lot of facts on both parties to talk about. I mean, I've seen articles on both. So I think it needs to be revisited, but just because you're part of the Paris, I guess, Environmental Act, I'm not sure if that doesn't mean that we're not going to support it.
Since, Trump has, at the federal level, decided no on this, do you think that people instead should rely more on local and state changes?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, from what I had heard, a few cities had already signed on, symbolically again, to say they wanted to, be a part of what the agreement, what they're striving for, I guess. So again, it's got to start local. Everything good does. So.
And I think if they kept it up to states, it actually might be a bit better, because then states would have more power to make it stricter or less so, depending on how they saw fit with their industries going.
Do you think that this kind of proves, in a sense, that maybe things shouldn't be held up at the federal level? Maybe there shouldn't be this power at the federal level to then determine that?
Yes, I totally agree with you. I think it shouldn't be. I think, it should be a debate, and it should be among the people of the United States to decide that, not the federal government.
Do you think that it should be more up to states and private industry to actually make those changes?
Totally, I totally believe that.
Well, the enlightened states are doing it. The enlightened states are saying we're going to abide by the Paris Accord. California, where I'm from, we're going to go our own way. We're going to go our own way and make sure that we live in a world, do our best to live in a world that's safe for both the environment and for the children, the next generations.
But what's sad is you're going your own way.
The states are equally as responsible.
I would like to see that they work together on that. I don't think you can just hold state governments or the federal together. But
I appreciate that.
There's some people out there saying that maybe the dinosaurs went extinct because they made so much methane gas, aka dinosaur farts, and you know how cow farts are,
Right.
it's an issue, the methane gas.
Right.
Do you think that maybe the dinosaurs were made extinct because of their methane?
I have no idea, but I will say, dinosaurs didn't have Humvees, so.
Well, the fact that we've proven that it was a gigantic meteorite that landed in Mexico that killed them, I don't think farting had anything to do with it. And, nature's kind of a fine-tuned machine when left on her own, so I think methane wouldn't really be a problem in the environment.
Do you think that people saying that the cows' methane gas and their farting is a real issue?
Well, we have done a heck of a lot to increase their population. That goes without saying because of the beef industry.
Would you believe it if some of the scientists are saying that CO2 levels were 5 times higher during the Jurassic period than they are today?
No, I don't believe so, because, the organisms, were a heck of a lot bigger, but there was actually 8 times more oxygen back then than there was today.
Yeah, I'd have to look into that. That seems surprising. Probably would have to do some research before I would believe that, yeah.
So the reality is, when this administration is gone, we could step back into the Paris Accord and do what we should be doing right. So.
And not everything is a deal. Sometimes it's about heart and soul.
So you think that the United States should just be willing to kind of take a worse deal for themselves in order to start the process?
What's a worse deal? What's a worse deal? What's the worst? I'm asking you. We didn't say worst deal. You just mentioned worst deal. What's the worst deal?
Well, what I'm saying is you said that it's not the best deal for the United States at first, but it's a start.
I guess I did say something like that.
You said that.
Well, liberals were not happy about Trump pulling out of the Paris climate change agreement, and most believe that the end of the world was nigh and that natural disasters were imminent. But a significant number of liberals actually started to drift toward a more conservative viewpoint, which would be to handle it on the state and local level and through the private sector. This is Millie Weaver signing off for Infowars.com.
Does your shampoo leave your scalp itchy and your hair dry and frizzy? Introducing Emmerich's Essentials Natural Herbal Shampoo. Made with organic oils for an exhilarating fragrance. Enjoy all-natural and chemical-free shampoo for a healthier you. Gentle enough for color-treated hair and sensitive scalps. Only pure, organic, antiseptic herbs that have demonstrated antimicrobial activity are used. Go natural. Go organic. No parabens or sulfates. Nothing to weigh you down. Get cleaner, healthier hair with Emmerich's Essentials Tea Tree Shampoo. This natural tea tree shampoo is made in the USA and certified made with organic ingredients, unlike other hair care products that claim to be organic but are not. For a silkier, smoother, shinier, clean look, try Emmerich's Essentials Herbal Shampoo. Feel more natural. Feel more confident. Feel the difference. Restore your alluring characteristics to a younger landscape. Rejuvenate, reinvigorate, revitalize your hair. Enhance your hair care experience today with Emmerich's Essentials Natural Herbal Tea Tree Shampoo.
You'll find Emmerich's Essentials at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139.